going on today. More good stuff for you. Oh my gosh. I'm excited every single time. I love interviewing people. Comic Spot was created by me and Army veterans so that I can get to vet out veterans of comedy. Yeah. There are other veterans besides military, turns out. Who'd have thought? Today on Comic Spot, I had this lovely lady from Kentucky. Well, she's not originally from Kentucky, but she lives there now, I think in the Lexington area. And she has a company that is a stable. And she decided to do something very not stable, which is comedy, and started around the pandemic. And so we're going to track her career and see how she does. We had her on about a month ago. I say we like there's me and somebody else in this room besides a cockroach. And so we're having her back on because I think she's funny and I think she's going to go places with her comedy. I think she's got something to deliver. Meanwhile, my table is not stable. It's rocking like a horse. There, I think I fixed it. So welcome to Comic Spot for the second time, you guys. Catherine Perkins. Woo! Catherine! Woo! How you doing?
I'm all right, Linda. How are you?
Fabulous. You were asking me about Debbie Baza. Yeah,
Yes.
I know her from my many trips to New York. Well, twice I lived there. And she's good friends with a lot of my good friends through Comic Strip Live, that
Okay.
club. Yeah.
Well, I know she's doing a lot, doing some of the same comedians and many different ones that you do.
Yes.
And when she posts her live, it says Linda Baza is with Debbie Baza is with Linda Marcus Smith. So I didn't know if you women had conquered the nation, except except for Central.
Yeah, something
If you
in the
want me to
middle.
take over, if you want me to take over from mountain to mountain and do the in between,
Yeah, you might want to take over the middle of America.
yeah, I could do Middle America.
You can do
Uh,
Malcolm of America. Malcolm in the middle.
yeah,
You get all the flat areas. We'll take the scenic.
uh,
I'm kidding.
well,
Kentucky's beautiful.
it is. It's a gorgeous state. Uh, I love. I like the states that have both qualities, ocean and mountains. So I miss ocean here, but
Oh, totally.
what it is so.
Yes. We don't have ocean in Vegas yet, but if there's a really good tsunami, we have a shot.
Oh well, I hear you're gonna have one soon, right?
Yeah, it's predicted.
Not you, California.
Yeah, yeah. So, what have you been doing since you were on here before, Catherine?
Well, Lexington comedy has opened up a little bit. We've been doing some live um, open mics and no shows for me. Uh, I'm not consistent enough, I guess, for shows. But I've done the open mics, and also the two comedy clubs have opened back up. We have a brand new one that is black owned in Georgetown, Kentucky, that opened up first before Comedy Off Broadway, which is the Lexington's only comedy club. In fact, it's pretty much the big one in this area. Louisville has a comedy club, in Cincinnati, but so it's nice to be back out, be around, getting
What are,
around people. It's so hard being isolated.
I know. Tell me the names of the two clubs that are open.
The Laughing Post, and that's the one that really opened up for comedians. The local scene. They opened their open mic up before. They're the only comedy club with an open mic, and the
Okay.
other one is Comedy Off Broadway. And Comedy Off Broadway used to have an open mic once a month, but they haven't picked that back up yet. So
Wow.
the Laughing Post, actually, all of their shows have been with comedians from the area who got their start maybe here in Kentucky, even though they've moved out back out of state. But I think a gentleman named Roy Haber was one of the first to go perform live. Another woman, local, she's done a lot of comedy shows, Kentucky area and Cincinnati. Uh, Rebecca Sanders, she did 2 nights there. And they're pretty much allowing the comedians to bring their own feature acts. Actually, Rebecca Smith asked me to feature for her, uh,
Wow.
which was nice.
So you got to do a feature for a headliner?
Yeah, I think I didn't do real well. It was probably my third time out of the box since COVID. Or it might have been my second. I might have done one open mic and then featured for her. But it was a lot of fun, and it worked out well.
How many minutes did you stand up there and do?
I was up there about 10. So she
Wonderful.
had she had another gentleman with her, and she contacted me at the last minute and said, they want me to do an hour and a half. She says, I'm almost positive I'm good for an hour, but it's been so long. And she said, my guy, he can only do 7 minutes. Would you come and do some? And I said, sure. Um,
Wonderful.
and it was lucky because it's a much younger group. So they were all pretty stoned. So
You had it all over them.
I got away with being not as sharp as I can be. But
Yeah, I remember when my daughter used to partake, then we were at the same level.
no,
You know,
well, for me,
otherwise,
and I think I might have taken a little bit. But when I partake, I do not do as well. Unfortunately, uh, I, I I don't remember. Typically, I don't remember anything I say after the fact. And there's a good shot. I don't remember what I said 2 seconds before I said after I said it when I'm on stage. So
how
I'm
many times have you been on a mic and a show in total?
in a show.
Mic and shows, both.
Uh, God, probably two hands.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
maybe 20 times where I've
That's
been given
crazy.
been given guest spots on shows. Um, and
Incredible.
does that include competitions?
Oh yeah, let's do the competitions.
Yeah.
You've done competitions already,
Oh yeah,
Catherine. Oh my gosh, you're knocking it
comedy
out
off
of the
Broad.
park.
The first competition I did was in I think 2017, 2016. I just started doing comedy, and it was a local competition called the funniest female in Lexington or something, or east of the Mississippi. I can't remember, but uh, and
And you
I
won
finished.
it. You won it.
No, I didn't win it. Actually, the woman who I featured for, Rebecca Sanders, she won it, and she was off the charts funny. But she's one of these that if she isn't really high, she appears to be. So I don't know. I never know if it's her persona on stage to just be in La La Land.
Yeah.
Um, but the person who finished second was terrible. They were awful, and that's the first. All the people in the audience said, "You should have won. You should have won." Right? And I said, "Yeah, well, I'm too old to sleep with anybody, so that's one reason why I didn't win, because the other two were so pretty." Um, but it was a big. I thought it was great, and then
Did
there
a
was
lot of
a
people come to it?
yeah, it was full. It was an upstairs in a place that a bar it was a relatively new bar. And actually, a gentleman named Kyle Fields, who moved to, I think, Indianapolis. Uh, he does a podcast, and he just performed at the Laughing Post last weekend. Super funny guy. he put it on, and it was the first time I'd done anything. I'd never been on. I think I'd been at an open mic, and that's it. About
Good
five
night.
five times when I did that competition.
You're just knocking it out of the park.
So that was a lot of fun. And then another comedian who is not present in the local scene anymore as far as comedy, but he had about 5 mics and one show a week going on in Lexington, at least that many. And he let me perform on his show quite often. But he started up where every week he'd either have once a month, same place. He had a competition once a month. The next week it would be one of these improv nights.
Wow.
Then the next would be a show that if you won the competition, you were one of the features on the show.
Wow.
And
Now,
then
what's
another
that
one.
person's name?
His name was Joe Deuce. And Joe has performed, I think, in Vegas as well. Just a marvelous human being and excellent comedian. I think his Facebook page is that guy Joe Deuce, and
Nice.
he was just. I mean, he treated everybody so fairly and with so much respect. It was great to be around.
So he left your area. Now, where is
He,
he at?
no, he's still in the area. He uh, had a child, and when he had a child, he kind of dropped out of the uh, hosting the open mics. He still performed. He still traveled and performed, but he also was, I think, teaching and a coach for
Oh,
in Berea. He lived outside of Lexington, about 40 minutes away, but he still performed and traveled to perform. And check him out. That guy Joe Deuce,
thank you.
super funny guy.
So
And you can find him on
what?
Facebook. And you would love to interview him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Um, will you text me this information of people I should
yeah,
interview,
I sure
please?
will. Sure
Anybody
will.
you think I should interview, I will interview anybody. Day
Uh,
one or 40 years in the business. I don't
yeah.
care.
Well, these guys have been in the business a long time. When I first started, I think Joe Deuce was he and Kyle Fields were both on a radio show, a local radio station here. Uh, and they pretty much had the market on all of the open mics and shows that went on, except for the club, the main club, which is Comedy Off Broadway. But yeah, I'll send you some names for sure. You
Perfect.
can check them out on Facebook.
And they don't need to be fabulous comics. If they're in anything, if they're a club owner, a booker, an agent, a first day comic, I
All
don't
right.
care. Anybody in the biz.
Well, for me, these guys are really kind of the best because they
Thank
acted as
you.
mentors. And it's not, I mean, I know as a woman, it's not an easy world to break into, and it is a very male world. But for me, also being older and having the head injury and coming into, I mean, I was scared to death of everything, right? And to
Absolutely.
have people treat you fairly. I mean, Joe, his mother-in-law had had a severe head injury as well. And they treated me like they knew, all right, she's having problems getting on stage, but we're gonna have fun with it, right? Yeah.
My first month in comedy, I fell off the stage 3 times.
Oh shit.
I thought they were going to tell me to go home and never come back.
They just now they look at I also after about 6 months, 8 months of doing comedy, I decided that the men were just so gross, even though they told me they couldn't use me in their shows because I was vulgar. Um, I started wearing gloves and a
Ah,
mic, and I wear a mic. I put a condom on the mic cover, and now they're making fun of. Now they're saying, and they used to make fun of me, right, and call me a germaphobe, and now they're like, I think she had the right idea for the last 3 years.
totally.
And I go, yeah, y'all are the reason this virus is rampant.
Yeah. So what has the pandemic taught you to do that you didn't think you'd be doing?
Right here.
Zoom,
Yes.
talking to
Well,
people.
any kind of, I'm not real big on social media. I notice you take a lot of selfies. You have a big presence. I don't know how many millions of followers you have, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm not really comfortable with.
Yeah.
And it's also the last thing I think of is taking my own picture, right? I mean, how you can see a bad hair day for me is every day, right? um, but having the confidence to do this and even trying to be funny on Zoom is, or on any social media, it's not easy when you have no audience.
Yeah, you
And
just
it's
have to like trust that you're funny and hope that
right, right.
somebody gets it, like,
Yeah.
hello, are you in there?
Right. And then, so it's given me a little more confidence as far as even when I do end up getting on stage where, so what if there's only 10 people in the room? So what if there's five? The hell with it. And, but it's also, I think it's a great way to stay connected.
Me
So,
too. You talk about me taking a lot of selfies. My entire, for like the first 55 years of my life, I never looked in the mirror. I had really bad teeth, and then I lost my teeth, and then I was waiting for new teeth, and I finally got new teeth, and that's why I'm taking selfies because I can't believe I got a smile first time in my life. And I'm always
well,
checking out different angles of my teeth. Is that too much? Yeah. Too much of this? Yeah. Let me
so
see.
now
Let me try to.
you should be doing the Trump mouth and you can make millions.
Yes.
Do virtual, no teeth. Look. I got no teeth.
I took my teeth out off and
And then have, PayPal right at the bottom, Venmo, right? Pay me.
yes.
Yeah, virtual. I can do virtual.
Yeah. I took my teeth off on out on stage once in New York City.
Yeah.
I got told don't ever do that ever again. I'm like, well, it went with my joke. I'm sorry. My teeth come out at night, guys.
At least you didn't pop your eye out, right?
Thank you. You could have been so much worse. Anyway, I wanted to have you back on because I think you're hysterically funny and I want people to track your comedy because I think it's going to go places. Because I think this cord is driving me nuts today. Sorry. And I want you back on periodically because I know that you're going to have more great things to report. I just feel it.
Well, you're awful sweet. And I have enjoyed your interviews. I'm just saying,
Thank
I think
you.
it's great.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
and keep up the good work. And
Thank you.
I was working last night, talking to a friend of mine who's a comedian, and I think he's let himself go a little bit. Boy, just, uh, but he was so funny. Uh, and it was great to work with someone, writing, having writing workshops for comedy as well. And as I said, for me, this community here, because so many of us are not very closely connected, and I'm not connected at all with most of my fellow comedians now because they're so much younger.
Yes.
They're not going to sit there and shoot the shit with me. And then with COVID, unless you do it online, and none of us have a big online community as far as comedians, but I think it's fun to work on jokes,
Yeah.
I see you post things.
Anytime if you want to get a group of people on Zoom and work on jokes and let people watch us work on jokes, just like
I think that,
a workshop where people that aren't comics can watch comics, like comedians at desks writing jokes or
yeah.
something,
Well, I've not had the opportunity to do that until actually this till COVID started doing the workshops with people.
I'll do that
Uh,
with you sometime,
so
Catherine.
that would be so much fun. And I noticed you've been putting up little blurbs on Facebook for some jokes, but that was just last night. My friend, and he actually sent me a thing from Huffington Post on words we can't use anymore because they're considered racist.
Yes.
And I'm like, I am so over this, because
So
this is
over.
one of the things that I don't know how to approach in comedy, is to tell people, you people have to be a little more tolerant. Like, some of us were
Thank you.
born in an era where these words were common, right?
Thank you. I mean, if we have to sit there and understand what young people are saying, they can have a little tolerance for us
Right.
old
Yeah.
farts.
If you tell me you're woke, I'm gonna figure you woke up this morning, right?
Thank you.
Not that you have a brain and know how to add, because you already use, hey, I'm woke,
I know.
improperly, right?
They think they're woke, but they didn't learn to add with an abacus or tell time with a sundial, so they can just step out the way. Hey, I better go. I'll get
Hey,
back with, I'm going to get right back to you about setting up a date to do a workshop. And
okay.
you can bring one or two comics, and I'll bring one or two comics. We'll
Yeah.
have
If
like six
I
people.
can find one or two
Yeah,
comics.
good luck. They're all so busy right now.
Yeah, I know. All
Okay, I'll catch you later. Thanks for coming on. It was fun,
right.
Catherine.
Talk to you later. Good seeing you again,
Let's
Linda.
do the workshop.
All right.
Okay, bye. Love you
Yeah, bye.
lots.